What is this going to be?
So today we're going to do some breathing, one kind of breathing. We have a lot of ways to explore the breath. This one is focused on the three diaphragms. So everybody knows when we talk about diaphragms, it's at the base of the lungs, the main diaphragm that we know about. But there's two other diaphragms. One is in the jaw, and the other one is the pelvic floor. And the three of them are totally connected. So whatever you work with one of them to release the tensions, because that's where we hold tensions. Some people, they can feel it more in their jaw. Some people feel it more in the sternum. And very few people feel it on the pelvic floor. So today we're going to do breathing. We're going to explore breathing in relation to those three diaphragms, because the more you release in the diaphragms, the more you release, basically, and relax. And also you can activate the vagus nerve. It makes big changes in digestion, in feeling, in presence in the body, and all of that. So first of all, we want to feel ourselves in contact with the floor and basically feeling how Mother Earth is holding us. We have the gravity, which is basically meant for Mother Earth to hold us in our arms. If there was no gravity, we would be floating, right? But Mother Earth, we want to be in contact with her. So that's why the gravity exists, because it's her way to pull you down into her arms. So if you can surrender to that feeling of being carried in the arms of Mother Earth, and feel how your feet are heavy, are resting. Feel how your legs are surrendering, feeling heavy, letting go. And then you can go into your pelvis. Feel the weight of the pelvis. That's a big structure. And feel which part of the back of your pelvis is in contact with the floor. Somewhere around the sacroiliac joint. What's the point that is more like heavy or in contact with the floor there? How do you carry your pelvis? Maybe it's to the side, to one side of that sacrum. Is it lower, upper in relation to the sacrum? But the pelvis is basically heavy. And then from the sacrum, you can slowly go up your spine. Your spine is like a chain, and it has some curves, like the lower back usually is a bit disconnected from the floor, more or less. And then it's like a bridge that connects the pelvis to the upper part, the rib basket. So feel how that part of you, the upper back, is resting on the floor. Which vertebrae are more in contact there? And then you're going to slowly go up your spine, and you're going to meet the next bridge, which is behind your neck. You can start in between your shoulder blades, and has a shape. And the other side of the bridge is your head, and your head is very heavy, very, very heavy. So where do you rest your head on the floor? Which part of the back of your head is heavier on the floor? Feel the big weight of your head and also the weight of your jaw. Are you holding in your jaw? Can you let go of anything in your jaw? And feel the weight of your tongue. And you let go in your tongue. And also in your eyes. The eyes are floating in those little caves. Can you connect with your eyes? And feel where the gaze is pointing at right now, behind closed eyes. They're floating in space. If your eyes are closed, it's like your presence is in the middle of this emptiness. And from there, we're going to connect or feel your shoulders, the weight of your arms, and also the weight of your hands and your fingers. Are you letting go of everything in your fingers, in your hands? Are your arms resting comfortably? Your shoulders? And from there, let's go into feeling how you breathe, meaning where do you feel the movement of your breath? Is it in the lower belly? You can put your hands on your lower belly and rest your arms on the floor. So if you put your hands on your lower belly, pointing at the pubic bone, and you rest your elbows in the floor, you can feel the movement of the breath in your lower belly. Feel how when you inhale, you push the hands away, you push the hands up. And when you exhale, the hands come back down. So let's just spend a moment in that space, feeling the inhale and the exhale. And as you exhale, imagine you're exhaling. It's like the wave going on to the beach. And when you inhale, you're pulling in the air all the way into your lower belly. And you exhale that wave onto the beach, far into the beach. And now I'm going to ask you to move your hands to the sides of your rib basket. So if you can find a way to get in touch on the sides, the lower ribs with your hands, and having your arm resting. This is effortless. So it can be the back of your fingers, the back of your hands, the front, whatever works for you. So you can be in touch with your ribs. And you can feel how you breathe into the rib basket. You can feel the movement, the inhale going to the sides of the rib basket. And the exhale, the ribs go down. And let's explore that part of your breathing for a moment. As you inhale, you bring prana, oxygen, into those parts of you. As you exhale, you release, you let go of whatever is not needed anymore. And now I'm going to ask you to move your hands in the front of your rib basket, somewhere maybe at the bottom of the sternum, somewhere where you can still rest your arms on the floor and just have your hands resting on the rib basket in the front. And take a moment to be there and feel the movement, how this wave coming in and out is moving you in front. And keep your hands there, but just travel to the back of your rib basket towards the floor. See what movement you feel when you inhale and exhale. If you feel how you go more against the floor and less against the floor. The other side of the ribs in contact with the spine. So that would be the middle breathing. And now I'm going to ask you to move your fingers, the tip of your fingers, a little bit under at the top of the ribs, the upper ribs, under the collarbone. You can feel usually there's some ribs that are more easier to feel. And again, you're resting your arms, find a way with the tip of your fingers. You're gonna get in touch with how you breathe in that part, in the upper part. When you inhale, those ribs are going up. And when you exhale, they're going down. And with your fingertips, you can have a conversation with those ribs. And when they're going up, you go up with them, even a little bit more than usual or spontaneous. And when you exhale, they go down. And with the tip of your fingers, you kind of push the ribs down a little bit more than it would happen otherwise. Very gentle, effortless, with a lot of love. You're talking with your ribs and showing them, oh, look how you move up and how you move down. Okay. So now you can let go of your arms. And I'm going to ask you to bend your knees and have your feet flat on the floor under your knees. So your ankles are under your knees and there's separation, like, the length of the width of the pelvis. There's separation in between your knees and your feet. And your ankles are really under your knees. And your feet are in contact with the floor, like really feeling the floor. And now you can check how your pelvis is resting, because it's going to be probably a little bit different. Your sternum in relation to your sacrum is in relation to the floor, the weight of your pelvis. Your breath, the spaces may feel a little bit different in the lower belly. Feeling the movement of your breath maybe against the floor, or maybe to the sides, or in front. Just checking how it's different when you bend your knees. And now I'm going to ask you again to put the hands in the lower belly, but like the tip of the fingers are in touch with the upper part of the pubic bone. The hands are resting, the direction of the tip of the fingers is like just next to the pubic bone. And with the next exhale, with each exhale, you're going to make the sound shh, like SH. So you inhale, and when you exhale, you go shh. And you inhale again and sense the movement of your pelvis. Pelvis wants to rock when you do inhale and exhale. Feel how, with the exhale, the pubic bone comes closer to the sternum, goes up, and you go shh. And when you inhale, it's like you make room in your lower belly, and the pubic bone goes away from the sternum. And again, shh. And you can make 7 of those breaths. We already did 3. So you inhale, and when you exhale, the pubic bone goes up, looking for the sternum, and you go shh. And again, shh. And when you inhale all the way against the pelvic floor, filling up that lower belly, and and one more time, fill up the belly, Breathing towards the pelvic floor, inhaling. And exhaling, the pubic bone goes up towards the sternum and goes shh. And you let go of that. Have a couple of spontaneous breathing, see how it feels. Before you move your hands again to the sides of your rib basket, arms resting on the floor, and you feel in the ribs on the sides, on both sides with your hands, with your fingers. And here, you're going to inhale, and with the exhale, you're going to make the sound S. And inhale towards the middle diaphragm, filling up your rib basket. And when you exhale, you go and we're going to do 7 of those. Going 3. Again, inhale towards your fingers, filling up your rib basket. And then you exhale with the sound S. One more time, inhaling, filling up that rib basket. Exhaling, feeling the movement of the ribs with your fingers on the sides of the rib basket. And one more time, inhaling, filling up, and inhale, feeling the movement. Maybe you can feel the movement of that middle diaphragm now. You're more aware. And you exhale. One more time, inhaling, bringing the prana, the oxygen into your lungs. And exhaling, feeling the movement. That's why I call it a rib basket, because the basket is flexible. The cage is not, but the rib basket is. And that's what they are meant to be. Protecting your lungs. The ribs are protecting your lungs, and they're moving at the rhythm of your breath. One last one. Inhale into your rib basket as you open up, and exhale with the sound S. And now you can let go of your arms. Just listening to your breath, spontaneous breathing. See how it feels, where you feel it. And now we are going to bring the tip of your fingers again under the collarbone, a little bit lower than the collarbone. Put your fingers tips on those ribs that you can feel there, and you're resting your arms on the floor. Make it effortless. It's very important, because effortless, the less you make effort, the more you can feel and sense. In order to feel, you need to open up. In order to open up, you need to relax, surrender. When we make an effort, we do the opposite, we contract. So here we want to relax, rest, and just your fingertips are in those bones. So you're going to feel the movement of your bones as you inhale and exhale in the upper part. And the sound, this is going to be connected to the upper diaphragm with your jaw. And the sound is going to be the ha. So the breath is going to be shorter, but you inhale up there, and when you exhale, you go ha. And you feel how the ribs go up with the inhale. And with the exhale, they go down and go ha. Next, inhale, the ribs go up. You follow them with your fingertips. And then down, ha. And another one. Inhaling. And feel as you do that, because we're going to do a few ones, we're going to do 7. See if you feel any movement, the movement in your spine. It's like a wave that goes up and down your spine. With the exhale, you go, ha. And how does that move you in your spine, in the neck? When you inhale, the ribs go up. The back of the neck comes a little bit closer to the floor. And when you exhale, the ribs go down, and the bridge, the space between the floor and your back of your neck is bigger. Which makes sense, because you need to open your mouth to go ha. Inhale. And one more exhale as you open your mouth and you release the tension in your jaw. And when you are complete with the 7 breaths related to your upper diaphragm in the jaw, you can let go of your arms and just listen to your breathing now. Just listen to your breathing, and you can bring your Legs down, rest your legs, elongate your legs. And just feel the contact with the floor, maybe feeling different, clearer, deeper, wider. And feel how that wave moves you. Is there more freedom, more amplitude, more space for you to inhale and reach into you to more spaces? And when you exhale, maybe the wave reach out deeper into the beach. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Feel your jaw, the weight of your jaw, the weight of your tongue as you listen to your breath, as you witness the movement of your breath traveling up and down, moving you along the spine, all the way down to your pelvic floor, through your middle diaphragm, and all the way up into your jaw. Releasing with every exhale. This is just the natural role of breathing. Brings in prana, oxygen, presence. It's the way of your soul to come into you with the inhale. And with the exhale, you push away whatever doesn't belong or is not needed anymore. So, with this connection that you now have with your breathing, I'm going to ask you to roll onto your side, whatever side feels comfortable. Just roll onto your side, maybe with the exhale. How do you do that? How can you stay with your breathing and move, or have your breathing move you? And now on the side, keep feeling your breathing, and where, when you're on the side, where do you feel it? How does it move you? You have your pelvis, you have your rib basket, and through the neck you go to the head. So can you feel the inhale in between the hip and the upper part of your rib basket? There's a space there. Can you fill up that space with the inhale? And then when you exhale, the ribs come closer to the hip on the side. It's like the hip joint and the shoulder have a connection. And when you inhale, they go away from each other and we fill up that space. And when you exhale, the shoulder wants to reach out for the hip joint, and the hip joint wants to reach out for the shoulder. So you inhale, they come apart, away, and you exhale, they come closer together. And again, it's like effortless. So only stay in the space that is effortless. It doesn't have to be a big movement at all. And you can feel what happens on the other side, on the side that is lying on the floor. How that breathing is moving you on that side. You can feel it in your hip joint. You can feel it in relation to the ribs that are touching the floor. Just stay with that and be curious. And what happens also with your head? Can you feel the breath shifting the weight in how you rest your head on the floor? Where is the weight of your head on the floor? Is it on the ear or up the ear or lower? And how does that shift when you inhale? And then when you exhale all the way to the beach, deep into the beach. So just the breathing moves you. When you really breathe, you breathe with the whole of you. And when you breathe with the whole of you, there's movement in all the joints along the spine, the hips, the shoulders, everywhere, the neck, everything is available. And if you feel like, you can roll back onto your back and just stay there for a moment to feel how your left side is different than the right side right now against the floor. Longer, wider, heavier, or more shaped. How's your breath right now? Do you breathe more with one side of you? Which side is breathing bigger right now? And bigger meaning longer or wider or more spacious. And when you have a clear idea, you can roll on to the other side. Just to stay there for a moment. Make yourself comfortable. Feel your hip joint against the floor, your ribs, and one shoulder is on top of the other one, it's vertical. And just explore the breathing when you're on the side. How does it make room between your pelvis and your ribs? And then bring the pelvis closer to the ribs, the lower ribs. Or you can think about it, the hip joint and the shoulder, they move apart and then they come together. And as you feel that on the upper part, see what's going on the side that it's against the floor. It's like a dance. When one side opens, the other one closes. And the other one opens and the other one closes. And you feel that movement along your spine also, all the way into your neck and your head. Feel how the breath moves you, how the weight is shifting on the side of your head in relation to your ear. And how loose your jaw wants to be. You can even feel your jaw falling towards the floor. And that's okay. That's good sign. That's just gravity. And feel that dance of your right side and your left side. How they dance together, the two sides of you, as you breathe. The movement of your pelvis, the rocking of your pelvis, the rocking of your basket, your ribs, and the rocking in your head. Effortlessly just being a witness of what happens or doesn't happen. Either way is okay. And whenever you're ready, you can roll back onto your back. Just to feel the floor, we make subtle movements and we pause. We explore something subtle and then we pause. And in the pause, we can become aware. Sometimes the pause is more revealing than the exploration. How does the floor feel? What is the floor revealing to you about you in this moment? How's your right side compared to the left side? In the pelvis, at the level of the rib basket, in your head, in your jaw, along your spine. We have these two sides of us that are meant to dance together, whatever we're doing. And it's nice when you get to know them, have a presence, conscious connection. Say, oh, look at me, myself, right side, and me, myself, left side. They're different. One is carrying the stomach, the other one is carrying the liver, kind of thing. They're different. They have different roles. But when they dance together, they support each other, and it makes a beautiful, creates a beautiful flow. So now we're going to roll to one side. Once again, just roll to one side and bring your knees close to your chest. Once you're on the side, you're going to bring your knees close to your chest so that you can roll on to like a fetus. You roll onto your legs and onto your chest, like onto the front of you, over your legs, and you position of fetus, head down. So you're not on your side anymore. You are in fetus position, looking down to the earth. Your chest is resting on the floor. And from there, so your pelvis is resting on your lower legs, kind of thing. And connect with your spine. And what you're going to do is imagine that your tailbone is attached to the floor, and you're going to roll up to sitting. Slowly roll up to sitting from there. Gently, gently, yeah. So you're sitting on, your pelvis is on your ankles or something like that. Right? And you're going to put your hands on the floor right in front of your knees. Just in front of your knees. I'm going to show my knees here. Okay. And then you're going to tuck your toes under your feet. And then you're going to lift your butt and slide your knees along your arms as you go. Slide your knees up your arms and then lift your butt. And then you're going to walk with your hands to your feet and up your legs. Up, 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 up. Until you are standing on your feet and looking in front of you. And here you want to feel the floor. There's room in between your feet. It's like shoulder width apart. And you feel the floor. And you feel your breath. And as you listen to your breath, you're going to go for a little walk around the room, just to get a feeling of your connection to the floor in this new alignment also. Because every one of these sessions is going to affect your alignment. So it's good to take a moment and be aware of where you are at in relation to the floor, in relation to your horizon, and how does it feel when you're walking? How does it feel in your hips, in your rib basket, in your head, in your eyes, in your shoulders and arms and legs? And I'm going to stop the recording here. I find